Namo tassa bhagavata arahata sammasambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavata arahata sammasambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavata arahata sammasambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sangham saranang gacchami.
Have a discussion on Buddha and his Dhamma. We missed one Sunday due to change of timing and all. Anyway, again welcome everyone. We had started part 4 of book 2 15 days before, and we would be continuing it. Before that, I just want to know that actually the class on Trishan Panchashil was recorded and it is posted in the group. I think
Yes.
everyone should just go through it again and again so that there is some changes in our recitation and also the meaning of it. I had in between reading this book, I had taken that session just to make it very clear to everyone. I hope you will all take advantage of it and learn something, the basics of it. So today we would be starting with the part 2 of part 4 or book 2, and the chapter is also 2. That is, after meeting Shuddhodana, when the Buddha returned back to Kapilavastu on the invitation of his father Shuddhodana, and he had a alms going there and a good discussion with his father, mother, and other Sakyan people in that area. He is personally then invited in the palace by the Shuddhodana. So when he is invited into his house, all the family members, they greet him with regard and with great reverence, and also the Buddha meet everyone with great friendliness. And after meeting everyone, he noticed that Yashodhara is not there in the family members present there. So he asked about Yashodhara, where is she? And he is informed that she is not coming. The reason behind was what? We have to understand this very deeply. She replies, surely if I am deserving of any regard, means you see, when we talk on Buddhism, this is before taking Buddhism by Yashodhara, we can say. Yeah, before knowing the Dhamma taught by Buddha, it's the Yashodhara who says that she also needs the regard. She deserves regard. We talk that in Buddhism, everyone here, whether male or female, whether whatever caste it is, everyone should be treated equally by giving them regard or in Hindi or Marathi we say Sanman. That word is very much important in Buddhism. If we treat any other person, so here she says that if she deserves regard, Siddhartha will come to me and see me. She is not, even though she is aware that he became Buddha, but in her senses he is Siddhartha, and she says that he will come to her to give, because she deserves that regard. And when Buddha heard this, he just get up from his seat and he tried to go to meet Yashodhara, and he knew that Sariputta, Mogalan, these bhikkhus, and many other people, including Shuddhodana, may also follow him to Yashodhara's room. And the situation would be what? He imagines. And then he tells to Sariputta and Mogalan that I am free, because he is a Buddha. He is free. But he can't give any guarantee of Yashodhara, because she is seeing him after 7 years. And what would be her reaction cannot be imagined. So he says that he is free, and everyone will see that Yashodhara is not free from what Siddhartha Buddha knew about, and everyone who would be accompanied with him. So he moved towards her room and find that after seeing Buddha, Yashodhara, maybe in a mind, it is that Siddhartha has come. She is in great grief. She is in very sorrow mood. So she is not able to control herself, and she falls on the feet of Buddha, crying very sorrowfully, very sadly. And after some time, he get to know that many people, especially the Shuddhodana, is there. So she just get apart and is sitting side to them. Now here, the situation is explained. It is said that this was the emotions shown by the Yashodhara, but that was temporary emotions. The reaction was very temporary, because she had seen Buddha as a Siddhartha. Siddhartha as a Buddha, we can say, after a long period. And this Shuddhodana explains to Siddhartha, to Buddha, about Yashodhara, saying that when she got to know that Siddhartha has shaved his head, she had also shaved it. All the ornaments and whatever they used, Siddhartha was using, he took off. So Yashodhara also forbidden everything, and using everything, whatever, as a lavish life, as a prince or princess, she had avoided everything, because Siddhartha was not in that state of accepting everything. So she also refused, and she ate in an earthen bowl as the Siddhartha was doing it. So it was a temporary emotion. It is said, if this is more than a temporary emotion, it is not for want of courage. Yet this is the words of Buddha when he says that it is she does not need any courage because it's very temporary. And he knew that whatever she had done or lived a life for 7 years without Siddhartha, the way she lived, it was of a kind of a parivrajika life with very purity and with gentleness. He says her devotion had been invaluable to him as a bodhisattva. Means about her behavior, Buddha talks that it was her devotion, and it cannot be uh, given any like compared with any value. So it is like a bodhisattva's life who attains that stage being a household itself. Okay, so there he says that Buddha says that it's a karma and it is having a great results of merit. After hearing this, she does not speak a word, and her life, it shows that she is a unique person. Like it is said that surrounded her spiritual inheritance, increased by her noble attitude during her life, and had made her a unique person. These are again the words of the Buddha for Yashodhara. So this was the meeting with Yashodhara by Buddha. After 7 years, he left the Kapilavastu. So it was a different kind of meeting where a person who is fully free and a person who is not free, what is the action and reaction between the two? And this was very clearly explained by Buddha to Sariputta and Moggallayan, specially because it is always said that whenever a person in robes goes to the people to meet them, whether they are family members or not, whether they are relatives or not, it is said that the people in robe should not allow them to touch them or to show their reaction as they see before you the person is in robe. Here it is, we can understand from this incidents that the person who are seeing you in robe first time, they cannot be stopped at once by reacting in the normal way, natural way. They need some time to understand the situation because they are not ready to situation. They are not. So the only have bring them to understand that you will find situation and explained for Shuddhadana with his he leave the he food at his house. Almost 7 years old at that time. He did not know his real father is in a habit to as his father. Yashodhara here, seeing that uh, he has attained the age of that 7-year-old where he can understand what it is, she makes him realize, pointing at the Buddha who is having a food there. She says that that person who looks like a lion, appearance is very glorious and is like a great soul, great Brahma, it is said. That Brahma means we can, last time I also told, Brahma means we can make it as a knowledge, a knowledgeable person with great knowledge. She makes her understand that he is your father. And the words, what she uses, she says that he possesses great mines of wealth, which I have not seen yet. It is not impossible to see a wealth if we are not knowing that what is real wealth is. We think that we can see the wealth because we see it shining, we see it like it is clinging, it is everything in a hand, it is stored. All the we imagine wealth in that way, but here Yashodhara says the wealth which is with the Buddha, which is with the father of Rahul, it is not seen by her because it's not with him, but he possesses great mines of wealth. Means it's not a little amount or not little wealth. It is great mines from where we can find the wealth which we understand. So she says, go to him and treat him to put you in the position for the son ought to inherit the property of the father. What she suggests him, you go and ask him about your inheritance, because whatever wealth a father has, it has to be inherited to the son. It's the tradition we have seen from many years. It is a culture, we can say, that whatever property, whatever wealth a father possesses is to be transferred to the son as an inheritance. And Rahul asked, who is my father? I know of no father but Shuddhodana. Because he is of the habit to call father to Shuddhodana itself. So he is surprised to know that there is another person who is his father. And Yashodhara took the boy in her arms, and from the window she pointed out to the Lord, who happened to be near partaking of food among the bhikkhus. The Buddha was with the bhikkhus and they were participating in the food taking process, and she pointed to the Buddha, and Rahul goes to Buddha directly, and at the age of 7, really, the children are not afraid of anything. They are very pure mind, no? So he goes to Buddha and without fear, he just asks him with affection, aren't thou my friend, father? O Samana, even your shadow is full of bliss. Means Rahula feels that bliss with Buddha, and he is surprised to see that he is his father. So he just have a very simple question, aren't thou my father? And Tathagata don't reply. He keeps silence. Because he is taking food there, and after having the food, he did not reply to Rahula, but he gives some blessings as his sermon to the place, to the people in the palace, and then they left for the place where they were staying. At that time, the Rahul just followed the Sangha, Buddha and his Sangha. No one stopped him to follow. So he just move on, he just walk behind them. And after seeing them, that Buddha says to Sariputta, he said that his son is asking for inheritance. And yes, it is the duty of every father to give the inheritance. And he again says that he does not have any, he cannot give him perishable treasure that will bring cares and sorrows. Again, this sentence, as the Yashodhara explains to Rahula that she has not seen any wealth with him, but he has that wealth, he possesses that wealth, but she has never seen that wealth. Here, Buddha is saying that he does not have such kind of wealth which is perishable. Means when we talk of the wealth which we as a general public know, that wealth is perishable. Perishable means it is used, it is spent. So when we never think of keeping it or making it more or more, increasing this kind of wealth, it finishes. Here, Buddha is not using that word, but he is using it perishable. Why he is using this word perishable means he says that after all this wealth is over, this will bring sorrow to them. This wealth is a kind of the result. When we don't have this kind of wealth, people are sorrow. They feel sad. They feel that they are financially very down. They have nothing to carry with them. They don't have anything to live a good life. This kind of things. He says that they are perishable. But he again says that I can give him a good life, which is a treasure that will not perish. So how to live a good life? That if it is given to Rahula, it won't perish. We know that is knowledge. We know that is how to live a good life. That knowledge, that is a treasure. That is the Dhamma which is a treasure. It will never perish. It will never be spent. Even if it's spent, it returns to us in a double way. So these are the things which cannot be perished. So he wants that life to be given to Rahula. Again then, he asked Rahul, because without asking, we cannot pressurize anyone to accept it. So here, he asked to Rahul, gold and silver and jewels have I none. He says that as everyone knows that wealth is of silver, gold and jewelry and ornaments, many things are there which are used as the wealth, which are known as the wealth of a general public, general people. He says to Rahul that he does not have that gold, silver, jewelry. But if you are willing to receive spiritual treasure and are strong to carry them and to keep them. He asked him. He does not have that kind of wealth. He does not have that kind of treasure. But he has a treasure which, to keep it, a person needs some strength. They should be strong enough to carry that. So, yeah, what he says that if you're strong enough to carry them and keep them with you, I will give that kind of treasure to you. That means understand, this is a question for us also. Baba Sahib didn't ask us this question while giving Dhamma to us. But yes, we should have that strength to carry and also to keep it with us. Here he again says, I have plenty. That is, I have it in plenty, you know. My spiritual treasure is the path of righteousness. You have to follow that path. What we say as Dhamma, this is the Arya Ashtangika Magga. You know that mark, that is the path, righteous path. That eightfold path, what we say, this is a treasure with Buddha. And he says that you have to keep it, you have to follow it, and you have to carry it. You know, this strength we should have. We say we are Buddhist, but are we in that position to we have this strength to carry it, to keep it, you know, to use it in our life? So he again asked to Rahula, do you desire to be admitted to the brotherhood of those who devote their life to the culture of the mind, seeking for the highest bliss attainable? This is what he asks, where he says that if he is ready, he will have to join a group of people, that is the Sangha, which lives in a brotherhood, with the brotherhood, and they are living that kind of life. They are having that culture in that life. They have that culture to make their mind to live that life, and it is for the highest bliss attainable, which is not perishable. You know, so he asked Rahul whether he would be joining the group of that people who are living that kind of life, who have that culture to make their mind very pure and live a righteous life. Is he ready to do that? You know, these questions are to be asked whenever, I think, whenever we give this diksha to anyone, whether it is a Buddhist diksha as a Dhamma diksha, or whether we are giving as a Pabajya, as a Samne diksha. Every time we have to ask whether they are strong enough to carry them, whether they are strong enough to know everything and follow it. You know, whether they are ready to be a part of the Sangha who are moving on that path. If these questions are answered affirmatively in positive way, yes, you can be a good Buddhist. You are the one who can inheritance. We say, no, we are the sons and we are the daughters of Buddha now. Yes, we say that we are sons and daughters of Buddha. We are inheriting his treasure till now. That time, it was not only inherited to Rahula, but the Sangha was already there who was inheriting it. And because as a biological son of Buddha, Rahul asks, he is also inherited the same thing. So everything, whatever it is which is not perishable, it's being coming from 2600 years from the Buddha till now. We are also inheriting it, so we should know how we are inheriting it. Are we strong enough to do that? And what did Rahula say? I do. Yes. He says yes. So we have to say yes for this. When Shuddhadana heard that the Rahula had joined the brotherhood of the bhikkhus, he was greatly grieved. Here again, we see there's another turning point in this life, we can say, life of the family of Shuddhodana, where the Rahul at the age of 7 is joining the Bhikkhu Sangha, and 7 years before, Siddhartha left Kapilvastu, left his family, and he became Buddha. In the same way, after 7 years, again another turning point comes there, where the Rahul, the son of Siddhartha, is also joining the Bhikkhu Sangha, which is again making Shuddhodana very sorrowful, very sad. It is, he gets hurt that Siddhartha never thought of him. It was not in his hand. He was punished, whatever it is, but he had to leave the family, he had to leave the Kapilvastu. It was okay, but now there is no such kind of any pressure to on that family, no pressure on Rahul, but still Rahul is joining the Sangha, so he gets hurt. Not much is given here, but we know that what the reaction was later when we come to the Samnera ordination, they will get to know about this. What was the interaction between the Buddha and the Shuddhodana after joining the Sangha by the Rahul. So this was the visit or the meeting with the Yashodhara and Rahula by the Buddha. Now the third chapter starts here. I think we can take it till the time we can take it. It's only half an hour now. So it is the reception by the Sakyas. Again, here we have to understand the first line of this chapter, reception by the Sakyas. The first and the second line, it's very important here. The first line says, when he returned to the country of the Sakyans, the Lord found his countrymen divided into two camps, one in favor and the other against him. This is very important to, we should know, that is happening in everyone's life. Whatever way they are living, whatever work they are doing, whatever their nature is, everyone has that kind of reaction from others, where someone will support you and someone will be against you. We cannot say that every 100% people will follow you or they will be with you, favoring you. So he found that there were two camps. One is favoring and the other one is against. This recalled to his mind and the old clash of opinion that took place in the Sakya Sangha when the issue of war between the Sakyas and Kolyas was fought, and in which he had played so prominent role. When he saw these two camps, he remembered the incidents of 7 years back when he was forced to leave Kapilvastu because of the same condition, as there was an issue between the Sakyans and Kolyans. The war was raised there, and how Siddhartha had to handle that situation, which was not accepted by anyone, but as a result, he had to leave Kapilvastu as a Parivrajaka. His part was very important at that time. He remembered everything. Then, those against him refused even now to do obeisance to him and to recognize his greatness. So, the time when who were refusing him, who refused him at that time, who had not accepted his decision of not waging a war, they were not yet ready to give respect to Buddha, nor they had any faith in him. So the situation was the same, but that time he was Siddhartha and now he was a Buddha. And Buddha was, we think that he should be respected by all, he should be accepted by all, everyone should show faith in him, but no, it is not practically done, because the person who are against him were still against him after 7 years. Those for him had already decided to dedicate a son per household to form a retinue for him. But some were there who wanted their son to be admitted in the Bhikkhu Sangha, you know, and this now decided to into the order and set out with the Lord on his return to Rajgraha. Means they wanted their son to join the Bhikkhu Sangha and they should follow Buddha to the Rajgraha. So, two types we are finding that it's the nature of the people. This is natural. Among the families which had decided dedicated a son, there was a family of Amitodana. This is the family person, relative of Siddhartha. This family was also ready to admit their son in the Bhikkhu Sangha. Now, Amitodana had two sons. One was Anuruddha and the other was Mahanama. Now, here we see that Mahanama, Aniruddha was like very delicate. It is mentioned here. There are people, there are children like that who are, some are very delicate, some are very harsh by body health. It depends how they are, and it is said that the Anuruddha was very delicately nurtured. So, here Mahanama asked Anuruddha, either do you renounce the world or I will do so. Here it is between the two brothers, Anuruddha and Mahanama, where Mahanama comes forward and asks him whether he want to renounce and join the Bhikkhu Sangha, or he is ready to do that. And Anuruddha replies, I am delicate. He says, I am delicate, because they got to know, they had seen the Buddha and his Sangha in Sakyas, in that area when they come there, that they are living a very harsh life. They don't have the place like a palace where they are very, they are living like having their own bed and having all the facilities what they have. So he says he won't be able to live the life of a bhikkhu because he is very delicate. It is impossible for me to go forth from the household life into the homeless state. You do so. So Anuruddha asked Mahanama that he is not able to do it because he is very, very delicate. He cannot live a homeless life. So he asked Mahanama to go there. But now, Mahanama explains Anuruddha about, he says, how an householding life is. Because he does not want to live a homeless life. So how a household life is, he want to explain him. He want to make comparative understanding by Anuruddha, where he says that he explains him in detail that a household person has to plow the field, then it has to be sown by the seeds, it has to be watered, then the water has to be drained out, then again the seeds are to be pulled up, it is to be after reaping the crop they have to get it and they have to be arranged in bundles and they have to be taken, the other things which are not required, which are mixed with the crop, they had to be removed, and everything means vinod means making them separate, and then It goes on every year or every season. These are the things it has to be done. And the reply of Anuruddha is, the work is never over. One sees not the end of one's labor. Oh, when shall our work be over? When shall we see the end of our labors? When shall we still possessing and retaining the pleasures of our five senses, yet dwell at rest? So Anuruddha says that this is also very laborious work. Being an household person, everything they have to be done and it has to be continued without having any rest. So, and he wants the pleasure of five senses. So, Mahanama says, yes, the work, dear Anuruddha, is never over, no end appear to our labors. So, for the labor, there is no rest, there is no end. Then do you take thought for the household duties? Now, do you want to still continue as a household duties? I will go forth from the household life into the homeless state. Then he asks Aniruddha again. No, Aniruddha says, then you take the thought of the household duties. He asks Mahanama to be a household person and he will be going for the houseless state and be in the Sangha. And the Anuruddha, the Sakyan, went to his mother and said to her, I want mother to go forth from the household life into the houseless state. Grant me the permission to do so. So this permission has come, we have, which is not mentioned here. The permission was to be taken. It was the suggestion by Shuddhadana to Buddha when Rahula comes in the Sangha and he was admitted there without the permission of the family members. So here it became later that everyone who is coming to the Sangha, they had to have their permission from the family members. And Anuruddha goes and asks to her mother to his mother that he want to be a part of this Sangha. He want to live in a houseless state. So he want to go. He needs the permission. His mother says that she has two sons and they are very dear to her. And she is happy with the two sons. They are very near and dear. And she wants to get apart from them only when she dies. Till then, she does not want their son to leave her. 3 times Anuruddha asks his mother, and the mother replies the same. Means that she does not want their son to be homeless. She does not want them to leave her. So she puts some restrictions. Instead of restrictions, we can say she has some condition for him, and she says that Bhadya was Anuruddha's friend and he was also the Sakyan Raja, and she thinks that it's impossible for Bhadya to be homeless. So she keeps the condition that if Bhadya is ready to be a part of a Bhikkhu Sangha, she will allow Anuruddha to join. And she is very sure that Bhadya will always say no to join the Sangha. So Anuruddha accepts this condition and he goes to Bhadya, where he asks him to join the Sangha because he wanted to join, and Bhadya says that he is with him for every decision, but he cannot come and join the Sangha, cannot live a houseless life. So he tells him, Anuruddha tells Bhatia that his mother has kept this condition that if Bhatia joins the Sangha, she will also allow her to be a house, to live, to join the Sangha. Now again, Bhatia thinks that um, he does not want to oppose Anuruddha. So he says, okay, you give me 7 years, then he will renounce the world and he will be with him in the Sangha. And Anuruddha says, no, it's too long for him. Slowly, the number of days are reduced and it comes to 7 days. Every time he says that it's too long to be part of the Sangha, to go to the Sangha, and for 7 days he is ready to and say he can manage, he can wait for this 7 days. It's not too long, he says. And so in 7 days, the Bhatia, the Sakyan Raja, Anuruddha, Ananda, Bhaggu, Kambila and Devdat, these 6 young Sakyan boys, they get ready to join the Sangha. They leave everything and they wanted to go to the Bhikkhu Sangha, they wanted to be admitted in the Bhikkhu Sangha. And the Upali, who was the barber at that time, he joined them, and all 7 of them, they leave Kapilvastu. They left their house, they started as a Parivraja, to become a Parivrajika, and they crossed some over into the neighboring district. They entered another district, and there they took off their fine things and wrapped them in their robes and made a bundle of them. So whatever they had, the belongings of them, they take it off, they put it in a robe, they make a bundle of it, and they hand it over to the barber Upali. And they say that, do you now, good Upali, turn back to Kapilvastu, these things will be sufficient for you to live upon. Means they give this bundle of the things which they have taken off from their body, they give it to Upali, and they say that Upali can live a good life with these things. And they ask him to leave them. They asked to leave them, and they move forward to join the Bhikkhu Sangha. They went on, and Upali parted company for the purpose of going back home. So we have seen here that Rahula had joined the company, the Buddha Bhikkhu Sangha, company of the Buddha. The 7 Sakyan boys, they decided to join the Bhikkhu Sangha, from which the Upali returns back. And in the same way, many people who favored Buddha, they tried to take the permission from their families, and they joined Buddha because they got to know that it's a good life. They will get the pleasure, they will get the treasure of the righteous path, and they can be a part of the Bhikkhu Sangha for the whole of their life. They leave Kapilvastu. So the Sangha of the Buddha increases here in Kapilvastu because many Sakyas, they join it, and it is continued from there. So I think we had completed second and third chapter of part 4 of book 2, and we'll continue again in the next chapter in next Sunday. So I think I would stop here, and if you have any questions, please you may ask and clear it, make it clear. Thank you. Jai Bhim, Namo Buddhaya.
Thank you, Banteji. And
Namo tassa bhagavata arahata samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavata arahata samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavata arahata samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sangham saranang